Is the $56,500 level for Bitcoin going to be a major bottom? That's what we're going to address in today's show. We're also going to have a look at a bunch of altcoins, some of which have pretty solid high time frame setups. So make sure you stay till the end, smash the like button, hit the bell notification, and definitely subscribe to the channel, and we will get straight into the show. You can see over here, of course, according to the Banter Bubbles charts over here, a couple of the coins on the hourly are starting to bounce, but we're still playing in that pullback on the daily time frame, which is why a lot of the coins are still red. If you go all the way onto the monthly now, a lot of the coins are starting to scratch back and pull back those monthly gains they earlier on about 2 weeks ago. Most of these were red on the monthly. So we have a whole lot to look at today. At the end of the day, price has played into the key levels that we previously outlined. That's when you look at the 20-week simple moving average and the 21-week exponential moving average, and you zoom in, you can see we got very, very close to hitting what they call the bull market support band, and price has been moving up ever since. But there's a lot of key things that need to happen. It's not all said and done just yet. We still need to see some key levels taken out. We need to see price hold above $56,000, and I'll show you why in today's show that level is so significant. But one of the reasons we've had a little bit of a push up is due to the Fed liquidity coming on the rise over here, pushing towards the upside. That brings new liquidity into the market and means prices can go higher. Your high time frame picture looks something like this. If you focus on the prior times that we started to break those all-time highs, and you look at the 2-month chart on the Heikin-Ashi candles, it helps to remove a lot of the noise and it keeps you out of the chop within the market. You can see over here, usually once you break above those all-time highs, it's just straight continuation onwards and upwards for a number of months later until you eventually set in your ultimate top. Then you go into the bear market, so you go into a downtrend, a ranging market, and you start to begin the uptrend once again, crossing above those previous all-time highs, and it's straight onwards and upwards. You then range at the top, go into a downtrend, a ranging market at the bottom, and then you start to establish that new base leading into an uptrend, which is pretty much where price is currently capped. So will this time be any different? That is the major question. And if so, is this the major low? You can actually vote in the poll section below over there. Go into the YouTube description. There should be a poll section, or in the comment section, and it'll say, will 56,500 hold as the Bitcoin bottom? I would love to know the rest of your thoughts. What do you guys think? Do you think it is going to be the major bottom for the rest of the cycle until we set in a major all-time high? Please click over there and vote. I'm going to see quickly what have you guys said, and then I'll bring that up. We'll review that towards the end of the stream for those who are not watching live. Now, you've got a pretty healthy reset within the market based on the recent contraction in price, the way that we've been moving towards the downside. You can see the BBWP on Ethereum on the left and on Bitcoin on the right-hand chart over here has basically come all the way back down, right? That allows you to play these major market moves. So if you look over here, when it's maximally contracted towards the bottom over there, near the 10 percentile mark, and then it goes on to expand, that leads to the big up moves, right? Then price recontracts and comes back down, letting the BBWP recontract, and then it gives it a chance to move back towards the upside. And this is ultimately how these bull markets play out, right? If you see expansion over there, you would expect continuation towards the upside. So high time frame, it is in agreement with what we're seeing over here in the 2-month Heikin-Ashi candlestick chart, that there is a possibility for continuation higher over here, but bulls do need to defend some key levels. One such key level is going to be the $65,000 region, and the reason why we've said that particular level is because it lines up with the 50-day moving average, which has now been reclaimed based on this big candle towards the upside. I'll show you on the lower time frames. In the very short term, you can see some pullbacks a little bit lower, around like $63,000. Maybe even 63,500, but really you don't want to see daily candle closes back below those regions. You want to see daily candle closes above this level. So if we close today's candle back above the 50-day moving average, most notably above $65,000, it will start to look really, really good, because oftentimes you can use 3 candle closes as a confirmation on your bias. So far you have 1, 2, and if you have the third candle closing above that level, that's usually enough of a signal to tell you that there is a real shift that's happening in the market. So at the end of the day, the market has changed character, right? The character being that we had consecutive lower lows and lower highs, and now for the first time we're showing signs that, well, maybe that's going to hold as the low with a little bit of a higher low over here, and then of course changing that character with a big push towards the upside and maybe shifting the trend back up. So it's still going to take a couple more days. A few more things need to be seen before we can, consider that that is in fact the case. And of course, the alternative is if there is a bit of a bull trap over here and prices do come back down and you do sweep those lows, well, you know exactly where your major support level is going to be. It still remains the same, which is that $50,000 to $52,000 region, which just happens to line up with that 200-day moving average, which is constantly rising towards the upside. Now, I have overlaid over here the super guppy trend indicator. This is a conglomerate of different exponential moving averages, and usually this is what you see, right? From periods of contraction over here where it goes gray, price reclaims the key levels and ultimately it's onwards and upwards, and the EMAs expand away from each other, giving those strong trading moves. You come back down into the recontraction phase, allowing for a healthy reset within the market. You reclaim the 50-day moving average and its trend continuation onwards and upwards. So will this time be any different, right? You expect trend continuation until such time, as you said, in a major local top for the market, and then you're probably going into a bear market. Yesterday's show, we outlined the possibilities of a parabola leaving base 4. Base 4 would be that corrective phase over here and entering into phase 5, which is going to be the next major expansive move towards the upside, which will be very significant. Jason Pizzino says it over here as well, where he's looking at the same levels. He said the only number worth watching at the moment for Bitcoin is going to be that $65,000 level. Daily closes above that level. Bulls are in control. Daily closes below, and then the bears have it in the short term, meaning that it is possible that you are going to sweep those lows and go back down to about that $50,000 region, which would be one of the worst case scenarios. Now, this has been in alignment with our plan for quite some time, where we said we're looking for a little bit of a W formation over here, consecutive higher lows, holding the range low, and then possible continuation up. So in alignment with everything that we've seen over here with holding above the 50-day moving average, if you can do that, you will also successfully hold above all the other key levels, that being your 9 and your 18 exponential moving average on the daily time frame, your 200 EMA on the 4-hour and 1-hour time frame, as well as your pivot level. And then the next target to take out is going to be the mid-range, because at the end of the day, this has still been a range, right? You can consider this a swing failure, break back into the range, and then you expect that range to continue until such time as you can convincingly break above the top side, which is currently situated right now at 73,300. So it closes above that, and you can say maximum expansion and the parabola remains, right? So that's what we're looking at for Bitcoin. High time frame, this also lines up over here with our weekly chart, where we said if we do see the weekly close happening above the green area over here, which is around about that 65K level, bulls remain in control, and then you expect the following week's candle to again be expanding towards the upside, and eventually when you take out this high over here, that's going to lead to significant moves up, and you're going to be in price discovery once again at new all-time highs. If you look at Bitcoin from current levels to new all-time highs, we're currently about 11.84% away, which is looking really good, right? The stock markets have already made all-time highs. You are currently having a little bit of a pause at those all-time highs, but likely that pause or consolidation will lead to higher prices at a later date. Open interest has been fully reset. If you look at the yearly time frame for open interest over here, and we'll just let that reset, that's been the picture, right? Usually when you see the yellow and orange areas, that's when you're in those periods of overheated territory, and you can start to look for major tops to be set within the market. Right now, that's not the case. Right now, the case is very similar to what we saw the last time when the market put in a major bottom and then we started to expand. Most of the coins are neutral on the funding, so flat, meaning that most market participants haven't chosen a direction yet, and even in some instances, some of these coins you're getting paid to hold long positions on. So it creates an interesting environment when the price structure lines up with potential continuation, right? Higher highs and higher lows, still in a macro bull market overall. So we can look over here at the at CoinGlass and all the different things under the hood in terms of liquidity of the order book, funding rates, etc. And you can see again the funding rates have gone slightly negative. There's been a big drop in open interest, of course, flushing out a lot of the late longs, right? Yesterday, I showed you the big rune position that I took, and I said that I'm looking to scale into that position. I have been playing it safe where I ran a trailing stop loss behind the rune chart or the rune price action as it was moving up on the 15-minute time frame, and I stopped out of that position. I've recently just re-entered into it. I'm looking for a safe entry. Okay, it's actually really getting moving right now as we're on the show. I just reopened it again, looking at expansion higher. I dropped it in the Discord. I gave the analysis and thoughts of why I'm taking this position, which I'll also share with the rest of you in just a moment. So yesterday I took about 8% profit over here on this trade, which was equal to, I think it was about $4,000 or $5,000 profit. Now we're up 18% with about $10,000 profit and climbing right now. As we can see, I want to scale this position up quite substantially. I'm currently running in the region of about 100 and or how big is this? This is almost this is a $274,000 position. I'm looking to get this between $500,000 and $1 million for a longer term swing trade. So that's the position that I have right now. This is the theory and thinking behind it. I was looking at price action over here on the weekly time frame, and really it's been capped also within a range. This has been the range that we're in between the previous month's low and the previous month's high. You can put this onto your chart using an indicator called Spaceman BTC. Ultimately, we're breaking above the previous week's high, which for me is starting to look at like a breakout move with, at the very least, a target at the previous month's high, that being $8.70. Not only that, but you also have the stochastic RSI, which is moving towards the upside over here, with a lot of the momentum across the board having bottomed out. As I just showed you, using the BBWP chart, the Bollinger Band width percentile on both Bitcoin and Ethereum, I showed you that that had pretty much bottomed out. So we're looking at a real breakout trade over here. This is essentially the setup that I gave. Yesterday was a little bit difficult to give a setup because I knew that we were only just starting to break out and the invalidation would have been too far away. But based on yesterday's small pullback that we had, I've now created a little bit of a more rudimentary setup that you can actually use over here. So that was the entry. Look, I mean, I basically re-entered exactly where I stopped out at. My previous stop yesterday when I was trailing the stop loss on the 15-minute time frame took me out of the position on this white line over here, which was $6.47. And then consequently this morning when I woke up and I saw price structure, I re-entered about 1.37% higher than yesterday. So if we do get a daily candle close above these previous 4-hour candles, which we printed yesterday, that will start to look really, really good. Conservative, or excuse me, not a conservative, an aggressive invalidation would of course be below those lows over there. A conservative stop loss for me or invalidation would be below that candle over there, which printed over here. If we start to go below that, I'll invalidate out of the position. I have mentally prepared that I'm willing to scale more into the position if it does come down into these levels. So please have enough margin on the sidelines to allocate should prices come a little bit lower. The plan is to scale into these positions. As you can see, I'm $300,000 approximately in the position, whereas I'm looking to build this potentially to $1 million position, which means that theoretically I'm 30% in, right? So just understand when you're calculating your risk so that you don't overexpose yourself and get wrecked if price does come down. Come with a plan in mind, right? So there it is. That's a trade. Where's the target? The target's all the way to the top over there, which is the previous month's high. It's giving you a 3.76 to 1 risk to reward ratio. I will be adjusting the stop losses and eliminating the risk as time passes by. For full updates of that, you'll have to join into the Discord if it's going to be over the course of the weekend that I do that, because that is where I can drop the alpha. I don't always do live shows on the weekend. So with that being said, If you want to follow along with me on these trades, there is a link in the description below. Go through to the YouTube description, sign up to Bybit over there. By signing up using that link as well, you can register for the next gummy airdrop, which is going to be, here you go. Let's just quickly go to the next gummy airdrop. This is it over here. That is going to be 15 million gummy tokens, which will be airdropped. You have 14 days left to register to that. And not only that, but you'll get $100 for free, right? Well, you have to trade $500 in volume, but that's very simple. Deposit $100 when you sign up. Take 5 trades on 1x leverage, or you can take 1 trade on 5x leverage, and that equals to $500 in volume. And that is guaranteed. They will drop you $100 in USDT. So that's it. That is it for the rune analysis. I guess let's continue. We'll get into some of the altcoins as well. If you have altcoin requests, please drop them in the chat section, in the comment section. Please also smash the like button, and let's continue. So where are the altcoins sitting? Well, if you're using Total 3 as your proxy for what the altcoin market is doing, you can see a massive range, right? You can see price revisited pretty much into the mid-range. You have a rising trend line over here, which in terms of our analysis is not as important as the horizontals. But nevertheless, you wick directly into that area with a perfect test, confluence of both the rising trend line and the mid-range level. And then Total 3 started to bounce. Where do things get really, really exciting? Well, probably if you start to get above this candle over here, which led to the breakdown, which means you need to see prices trend up into the yellow zone. That's the zone where bulls start to take back control, and that will allow them to build up enough momentum to hopefully break price above the top side of the range. Should they do that, well, now you have a potential move all the way up to 1.25 trillion, which will look very, very good, right? So that's what we're looking at over there. ETH BTC is getting absolutely annihilated, obliterated, but it is coming into a super key zone. If you focus on this level over here, this is looking at ETH BTC on the weekly time frame. And at the end of the day, this is an inefficiency, sometimes also referred to as a fair value gap. And price is currently coming directly into that level. So personally, I am expecting a bit of a reaction from the zone, possibly towards the upside. And I would expect it to happen pretty soon. How soon? Well, this is a longer term outlook because we're on a weekly time frame. I would expect that somewhere within the course of the next 4 weeks. So in the next month, you should see a bottoming formation and quite a big mean reversion towards the upside. Now, does that mean that you should be trying to buy the bottom of that? Absolutely not. I think that it's always best to wait for confirmation, especially when it comes to something like ETH BTC. You can always be better off just holding Bitcoin, knowing for the longer term as well what a strong fundamental case it holds, right? Of course, if you want to be a speculator, I just think it's better to wait for confirmation, which is the break back up into the trading range, the old trading range. That will show you that bulls have fully taken control. And yes, you would have missed out on the exact bottom, but if you try and time the exact bottom over the course of your trading career, well, the truth is you probably won't have a trading career because you'll lose all of your money. The best way is to wait for confirmation, and you might not make as much money as that one time that you get the exact bottom, but over time, you're going to make a whole lot more capital, right? So that is the ETH BTC chart. Here's your Bitcoin dominance. We've outlaid that Bitcoin dominance is probably closer to the top than it is to the bottom, right? So we are expecting that also sometime in the next couple of weeks to months, this will top out, break down, and consequently you'll see altcoins rallying. It's important to look at your favorite charts against the BTC pair, right? So if you look at Solana against BTC, it's moving right now pretty aggressively. It's looking powerful over here with a pretty beautiful uptrending chart over here, looking to take out those previous highs against Bitcoin at 0.0029 satoshis. That if that takes out that ratio over there, you should see straight continuation high. If you look at Solana against Ethereum, it's already breaking out above those highs. So ultimately, if you had sold all your Ethereum into Solana, you probably would be doing pretty well and at least have made up a lot of gains, which is why Solana is actually one of my biggest positions right now. So other coins that look good, right? If you look at HDF, Humble DeFi Farmer, he outlined a couple of coins over here. I thought we can have a look at them and check on my chart as well. Solana, high time frame, one of the charts that looks pretty good, right? Perfect retest back into that range level and starting to bounce out of that zone. The other one is Arweave, right? 𝗟𝗡𝗙 has been straight uptrending, also putting in new highs. Now, when you take these new coins that are moving into new highs right now, it's usually best to play them in the shorter to medium time frame. You don't necessarily want to be a long-term investor in these because they may actually get a bit of a sell-off at some point. 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗥 also trending up towards new highs over there, and 𝗠𝗏𝗏 is the other one. We'll have a look at your coins. Please make sure that you drop it in the comment section. I am currently monitoring that. Before we do that as well, let's quickly review before I forget your guys' thoughts. This is the audience. This is 3,000 of you that are live right now on the show. Will 56,500 hold as Bitcoin's bottom, or is this going to be a major bull trap, meaning prices are going to come back down and drop below 56.5? Well, currently that's the votes. The votes are in. It seems like the vast majority is 80% say yes, the bottom is in, 20% say no, we're probably going to be going low. At the end of the day, only time will tell, and all that we can do is adapt and adjust according to whatever the price chart is telling us. So if you look at the total longs to shorts, we're sitting at about a 1-to-3 ratio, 3 longs for every 1 short, which could potentially be liquidated. All right. Also, another initiative that I have over here, I thought that I could do a little bit of a giveaway. So what I would need is your guys' Solana addresses. We'll see if we can try to review it towards the end of the show over here. But ultimately, this is 𝗔𝗔𝗥, right? 𝗔𝗔𝗥 gives you an airdrop opportunity, and I'll be doing a giveaway for those of you who use the link below to sign up. So go through to the link below, sign up over there. If you go through to 𝗔𝗔𝗥, there it is, where it says $1 million in gummy airdrops to 𝗔𝗔𝗥 network users. Click that exact link. If you do click that exact link, you'll qualify for the 𝗔𝗔𝗥 airdrop. You also qualify for the gummy airdrop, right? The only way you're going to get the gummy or the 𝗔𝗔𝗥 airdrop is if you click that link. Now, once you've done that, what is 𝗔𝗔𝗥? 𝗔𝗔𝗥 is essentially cross-bridging, right? You can go from different chains, different coins into another separate chain and coin, right? For example, if I'm on the BNB chain now, looking at Pancake swap token, which is one of the positions that I have over there, I can send 100 of those cake tokens to, I can choose the Solana chain, and I can choose any one of these, right? I can choose, do I want to send it to you in Gummy? Do I want to send it in Pith or Wormhole token or Bong? I've selected or opted for Solana. So I can send you 1.5 Solana. You'll have to drop your addresses in the comment sections below. I'll pick one of those, and then I'll add in the recipient address, and I can send that to you guys. I'll give you guys 1.5 Solana, which is about $200. So amazing platform over there. I really think it's worth using, guys. If you are doing cross bridging and you also want to qualify for an airdrop, use that exact link below, and then let's continue. So also looking at Bitcoin over here, we did have this upsloping trend line. This will add additional significance because it is a bit of a pivot level, which ultimately held price towards the downside. I would like to see price get back above that level. So far, we're starting to see prices move. We have Solana doing phenomenally well, and you got to love to see it. Price is pushing up above this key level over here. This is the zone where I said I really want to see that taken out. If we see price hold above $160, well, ultimately we open up the possibility of moving to the top side of that trading range, which is going to be over here at about $200. And unlikely that price stops there, because on a high time frame, you can imagine what this looks like. It ultimately looks like you're just going to break above those previous highs and expand into at least new cycle highs, and eventually Solana can target those new all-time highs. So that's looking good. Let's have a look at Casper. Casper underperforming a little bit over here, but nevertheless, this is a key level that should hold as a higher low. What about Injective? Also Injective, we said close enough yesterday to hitting that 50% level at 20.7, and if it can start to get above this $29 zone, you should see a decent move. I can also see over here, AVAX is starting to move. That should be off the level we mentioned yesterday. That is it, right? $30. It would be nice to have seen a sweep below, but you don't always get what you want in the market. At the end of the day, that's why you want to scale into positions, right? When you identify an area of interest, you need to scale into the position, because you won't always get the sweep like that you want. That's why you want to start building a bit of a position within the general area, and don't get too greedy, right? Now we're looking to target up to about 53, but we still need to see a bit more, right? For AVAX really needs to get above this zone over here, which is about 40. If it gets above 40, it should move up. I see Chaos. What's up, bro? I see he's saying addresses won't show because it's blocked, unfortunately, by default. I guess it's due to all the scams in crypto and stuff. So I'll make a plan for you guys. What I'll do, use that link for dBridge, sign up. I'll try get a sign up list of those that have signed up, and because you have to connect your wallet. Once you've done that, I will select a couple of people and I will make a post on Twitter and I will send you guys some free Solana over there. So that's probably the best way to get around the address block. Okay, let's continue. How is 𝗬𝗎𝗙𝗍 doing? Let's see. 𝗬𝗎𝗙𝗍. We also want to look at TON. So there on 𝗬𝗎𝗙, you're getting a beautiful deviation back into the range over here. Remember, that opens up the possibility of trading to the top side of the range, which is a 38% move. So we're seeing this unanimously across the board. A lot of the coins are showing some signs of strength, and they're showing that they want to be bid, right? I'm still not sold yet on TON. You don't always get them all, but this is not a clean chart for me, so it's a little bit difficult to trade. So I can't really provide that much information on it. It is obviously something that's relatively new. It had a massive pump. The newer coins are oftentimes best just dollar cost averaged into. Let's look at some of the real world assets. Okay, we got Ondo on the move once again, pushing up towards those range highs. I would like to see Ondo get back above, call it $1. If you get to $1 over here, it's going to start to move beautifully. If you look at Mantra, not moving as strongly as Ondo, but a similar chart in the sense that it's been straight uptrending, and then it's got now a beautiful range which is formed over there. So let's see, what are some of the other ones that the Twitter account showed over here? So we just looked at Ondo. Let's see, we'll go to 𝗕𝗚𝗚. We'll go to 𝗬𝗚𝗡. Okay, we've looked at Solana. So let's see, how is 𝗬𝗚𝗡 doing over here? 𝗬𝗚𝗡 USDT. Okay, there it is. Here we have it. Okay, 𝗬𝗚𝗡 USDT pushing above the range. It looks like it's flipped that level into support over here at 41. So you have to look left to see where is the next area of interest. So the most obvious zone for me, let's just put on our weak magnet over here. The most obvious area for me would be the drawn liquidity is going to be around $70. That opens up that as your next trading range, right? So this would be the trading range, right? Defend and hold this level, and possibly 𝗬𝗚𝗡 can move into that zone, forming a new trading range over there, right? And if it is fast trending, of course you adapt, right? If it's not going to be a range, but it's going to be trending, well, you can adapt. At the end of the day, you're still probably going to get a consolidation over there before continuation higher on 𝗬𝗚𝗡. The other one that you guys asked for was 𝗕𝗚𝗚, which has been one of the only strong meme coins in the last couple of days. So 𝗕𝗚𝗚, let's have a quick look over here. We said, be careful of the deviation, right? Be careful of the deviation. There is pent-up liquidity over here. But similar to what I just showed you on 𝗬𝗚𝗡, if it can, in fact, flip this into support over here, well, that's where you say that oh, sorry, guys. That's where you say that it's actually not a trend, but it's a range, right? Oh, excuse me, the other way around. It's not a range, but it's a trend, right? Because you flip this level and then you expect straight continuation higher. How are the other ones doing? I saw that there was big shorts opening on WIF. Where is WIF? Where is WIF? I deleted WIF by mistake. Let's quickly go to WIF USDT. Am I going to have to redraw this whole chart again? That is pretty annoying, but it is what it is. Let's quickly go here. WIF. We'll have a quick look. Okay, it's not too bad. It's ultimately just consolidating. Obviously had huge moves over here. That's the zones that it's consolidating in. If you can pick any of it up near the bottom of that at about $2.24, that will probably be a good zone. Let's quickly review how our trade's going over here. We're up $10,000, 18%. Let's see. I'll review today if I'm going to be trailing a stop loss again. Let's see. Okay, so for now, I'm going to give it a little bit of room to see if it can get moving. I'll give it a little bit of room to see if we can let it get going over there, and we'll review. Guys, be careful of scams, right? As Chaos just said, please stop sending addresses. Please, guys. They can't help. They can't help. Chaos can't help you if you're sending your phantom address. Remember, all you have to do is use the link in the description below to dBridge, connect your wallet. I'll be able to pull that up, and I'll do an airdrop. Call it an airdrop. I'll send money to a couple of those addresses. Don't drop it in YouTube. They're blocking it because it's a crypto address. The other thing that I wanted to say is be careful of scams, right? If you look over here, pump.fun, which is the degenerate gambling space for meme coin traders. It's their casino on pump.com or pump.fun. They were under attack yesterday, right? So ultimately, they were buying tokens on pump.fun within minutes to fill the bonding curve up to 100%. And then ultimately, they exploited it, right? So they exploited $2 million worth of Solana, which is pretty significant. It was this guy over here. He doxed himself. They caught him over here. I mean, silly mistake from his side. He was an ex-employee. It's this account over here. I'm surprised that he hasn't deactivated his Twitter yet. So his name is 𝗟𝗜𝗙𝗙 from Nova in Canada, right? He accidentally leaked his name, tweeting that he is no longer able to use Binance in Canada. That was the Twitter account. So I believe they're back up and running, but I think it's just a lesson. Be careful within crypto. Now, if you're going to speculate on degenerate meme coins, this is what you need to do. Open up a different wallet that's separate from your main wallet, right? You want to keep your cold storage wallets in one place. Then you want to have your hot wallets, which are wallets that do interact with these dangerous sites that could potentially get exploited or anything that could hack you. You never want to have all your gold in one place, right? You don't want to keep the crown jewels all in one place. You want to have it distributed and diversified so that these things don't happen. You can also use very, very simple tools like NordVPN, right? NordVPN is one of our sponsors. You don't have to use these ones, but if you use this one, you get 67% discount. It works out to something like 2 cents a day. It's like a coffee a month, right? So use the link in the description below. It will warn you if there is major problems. So link is below. And then I wanted to go into some of the meme coins over here, right? So, of course, Boden doing pretty well. Let's go into some of the meme coins. Boden doing pretty well. Boden and Tremp, like, I don't know, the market caps are pretty high for my liking. I'm not 100% sold on it yet. I do think that, yes, it will probably trend on into new all-time highs, but that's where you have to look, right? What is the inherent risk of trading this for 155% move? We know that meme coins can go to zero, and they very often do go to zero, even big ones, right? Even big ones with mass viewership and following, they do still go to zero. So you'd be trading this for 155% move towards the upside. This is why I'm not sold, right? Like, could I get 155% on Arweave, Rune, Solana? I think so. Solana maybe is a little bit of a tougher one, but Rune, Arweave, definitely. There's many other fundamentally strong coins which I'm not worried are going to rug. So this is where you need to make your own determination. But that is Boden. What about Tremp? Let's have a look at Tremp. Tremp at 104. We know, though, that memes, this one's already at all-time highs. If that's any indication for how the voting is going to go, well, maybe read the charts over there. Read the charts. Maybe it's just crypto-centric people that prefer Tremp to Boden. But 104 million, we know meme coins can also go into billions. So you decide for yourself. What about Gummy? How's Gummy doing? Let's see. Gummy, okay. Also, at those range lows over there, really needs to hold this key level at 93 cents. And then you can open up the possibility of 15 and possibly 20 cents. Let's go over some of the other ones. You guys remember that, what is this one? Roaring Kitty with hat. This got absolutely dumped during a live stream. So unfortunate to see. I mean, I'm stuck in my position over here. Am I above? I am still up. I am still up, but only about 3x. Same thing with GME with hat, right? GME sold off. The actual GME sold off. So I guess they're going to trade in unison. I am also still holding my GME with hat. And anyone that was in the live session when we took this, you're still probably up about 8x. So unfortunately, this is the result of people filling too big orders too soon. This is why you need to look for coins that have a little bit more decentralization. They have a lot of different wallets, right? This one's got 10,000 holders over here on Pepe Coin. It's not to say you can't trade those ones. You can trade them, but you need to trade them with extreme caution, right? You need to, I've said it a million times, that you don't put investment capital into. To put into perspective, when I take these types of, these secondary, not the OG whiffs, but the secondary whiffs, the beta whiffs, right? Cat with hat, GME with hat. What is this one? Kitty with hat. Let's look at some of the other ones. 𝗓𝗏𝗡𝗏𝗡𝗧. These are examples of some of the trades that we've taken. When I take those trades, I'm utilizing a maximum of 0.1%, would be the absolute extreme highest that I would ever go of my crypto portfolio. Most of the time, and I calculated this with 𝗟𝗟𝗏, I'm at 0.0. So I'm going to say after the point, 0.001%. So that's 0.1% of my crypto portfolio size goes into these coins. You have to be very careful. This one has got much more decentralization on it. It also has an actual use case and working product. This is the actual 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗥 coin. Now we know that the other 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗥 coin that was pretty much a marketing takeover. This was meant to be the real 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗥 coin. So I'm playing, the likes that maybe, it can close the bridge between this and the actual 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗥 coin, which I believe is over $4 billion already. So this one's trading, or the other 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗥 coin is trading about close to 8x above the real 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗥 coin, which is this one. We hit the fair value gap. We're having continuation high. I'm very, very happy with my position over here. And I think that could be the major low, and we're going to get continuation up. The other one that we're looking at here is based AI, which is, of course, interrelated. If you stake this 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗥 coin, you get based AI for staking, right? Speaking of staking, remember the gummy staking is open. If you stake gummy, you get baked. Is an airdrop in baked is another token, right? Okay, we hit the support level. We're yet to see this pick up in the same way that 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗥 coin has. Is there any other ones worth mentioning over here? Okay, I think in terms of those, that is it. Let's just see, is there anything else worth mentioning in terms of the chart? Should we have one more review over here of what's happening with this position? Okay, we're 20% up, 11,300. Should close that, maybe pay the rent for the month. Why not? But I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it going. I really want to try and get a good entry like we previously did on buy. But you guys remember those positions? We got our whiff trade up to 45,000%. It was absolutely insane. And multiple coins were trading at 10,000, 6,000, 4,000% profit. We only had out of 43 positions, I think maybe there was about 6 or 7 of them that got stopped out at a loss. And the rest, we absolutely coined it. So the plan here is to do something very, very similar. So if you want more of that, guys, let me know in the comments what you want. Also, after the show, surprise, tomorrow, I'm actually going to be doing a show at 9 a.m. SAST, which is about wherever you are in the world live right now. That's more or less about this time, 30 minutes before this time. So make sure that you guys go through into 𝗕𝗏𝗔𝗡. I'm going to be using those addresses. So you click that exact link below, connect your wallet. That's where I'm going to be doing the airdrop to. And that's it from me, folks. I will see all of you on the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you all have an awesome day and see you all tomorrow. Cheers for now.